Hello once again. It is Christopher from Terra Tutoring. And today we're going to be doing homework help as usual, SAT problems as usual. In the meantime, we've got good tunes, good vibes, and of course a great tutor. So let's turn that music up a little bit, get some good vibes in the air. So without further ado, let's get started. So, might actually turn on the music just a tad. A rectangle has a length that is 15 times its width. That means that length is, where's my colors, is equal to 15W. And then the width, well, that's just W. So W is the width. And so the function y is equal to 15W times W represents this situation. Since we established that 15W, and additionally it says where y is the area, since we established that 15W is the length, because that's the first sentence, that rectangle has a length that's 15 times its width, then we can interpret 15W to just be the length of the rectangle in feet, which should be answer choice A. If that makes sense to everyone and there are no questions, we'll move on to the next question. So the given equation relates the distinct positive numbers v, w, and x. Which equation correctly expresses w in terms of v and x? So all this is asking for is to solve w in this algebraic equation. So we have v is equal to negative w over 150x. So if we want to get w by itself, we can multiply by negative 150x on both sides. Hello, Susan. I don't know why the chat box is still doing that sound. I have to mute it every single time. Is that a Fall Guys character? But anyway, w is then equal to negative 150x times v. Or we could rewrite this as negative 150 vx to make it look like one of the answer choices. By the commutative property of multiplication, it doesn't matter what order we multiply in, we can switch things around and it'll still give us the same result. So then A in the link in about section, and we're gonna pin that again. I don't know why that is playing every time when I have it muted. The chat box should not be playing when we do that, but it is, so that's okay. And then post your homework questions within the link in the description. So for some reason that didn't come up. There we go. Again, I don't know why that is playing every single time. That's a little annoying now, isn't it? Ever getting spammed with Let's see if we can go to the Streamlabs dashboard and fix this. Let's see. In the meantime, I will keep on a lookout for the uploads on the homework help message settings, message animation, chat notifications, no sound, mute that. So That should be done. Should not get any more of those. All right, now where were we? Which expression is equivalent to, I'm not going to read it, but this expression on the screen where m, q, and z are positive. So this takes knowledge of exponent rules. So if you're not familiar with exponent rules, we have that when we multiply a, well, let's say we'll use, x, y, and z. So x to the power of y times x to the power of z is equal to x to the power of y plus z. So basically, when you're multiplying two terms with the same base and you want to simplify this, we just add their exponents. Whether they're negative or positive doesn't make a difference, we still add them. So in this case, we have m to the fourth, q to the fourth, z to the negative first, all of this times m times q to the fifth times z to the third. So when we're multiplying these two expressions, I'll call them, sorry, I have a hair on my tablet, but when we're multiplying these together, we can multiply m with m, q with q, and z with z. So we can rewrite it as m, let me do this color-coded, m to the fourth times m. All of this will be multiplied times q to the fourth times q to the fifth, and all of that will be multiplied times z to the negative first times z to the third. So this is what we'll have. Ignore my weird threes. M to the fourth times m. So we're just going to add 4, and there's an imaginary 1 here. So 4 plus 1 is 5. Here we have 4 plus 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Finally, we have negative 1 and 3. So z to the second power, because negative 1 plus 3 is 2. So this will be our final answer. And you'll see that corresponds to none of them because I'm silly. 4 plus 5. I wrote a 3 down here for some reason. Here. Whoops. So it's actually q to the 9th. Don't make silly mistakes like me. But yes, this corresponds to answer choice B. If there are no questions on this, we'll move on to the next question. But if there are questions, feel free to post it in the chat, either in the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat. Doesn't matter where, I'll see them both. And if you have homework questions of your own, feel free to upload them in the link below, whether that be on the YouTube description or the Twitch About section. Feel free to upload them and we'll help you out. Whether that be math, reading, physics, chemistry, maybe you're studying even computer science, we can help you out here. So any variety of subjects, geometry, algebra, calculus, pre-calculus, algebra 2, whatever it may be that you're struggling with, post your homework questions in the link below and we'll help you out. So next, we're going to do this problem. A system of equations consists of a quadratic equation and a linear equation. The equations in this system are graphed in the xy plane above. How many solutions does this system have? I want you guys to let me know what you all think. I'll give you about 15 seconds to respond. Let me know what you all think the answer to this question is and why. Now, for those of you who are unsure, I'll give you a hint, and it's a very strong hint, so this one will give it away. The solutions to a system of equations, when we're graphing it, are the points at which the two graphs intersect. So I'll see what you guys think. In about 5 seconds, we'll reveal the answer. All right. So the answer to this is actually C. It's 2. Because as we can see, if I'm going to mimic the drawing, something like this, we have 2 intersection points, 2 points at which the graphs meet. So those 2 points are the solutions, and therefore this graph, this system of equations has 2 solutions. And that's really all there is to that problem. All right. Which of the following inequalities is equivalent to the inequality above? So we have 6x minus 9y is greater than 12. And you might notice that all of these have the greatest common factor of 3. So we can divide all of them by 3. We get 2x minus 3y is greater than 4. And you see that corresponds with answer choice B. So if there are no questions about that one, I'll move on. B, yes, very good, B. Very good. Next, let's do this question. If x, y is a solution to the system of equations above, which of the following could be the value of x? Well, let's write this. We have y is equal to x plus 1, and y is equal to x squared plus x. You may notice that we can factor out x in the bottom equation, rewrite this as x times x plus 1, and set these two equations, this top one and the bottom one, equal to each other. So you have that x plus 1 is equal to x times x plus 1. And if we divide by both sides by x plus 1, you get that x is equal to 1. Now, this doesn't appear. Is it A? I'll let you know in a second. So this doesn't appear on the answer choices. So we have to find a different solution. Another way that we could do this is by plugging in all the answer choices to find which one is going to add up to the corresponding value. So if we plug in -1 into the top equation and the bottom equation, you'll find that it does satisfy this equation. So -1 plus 1 does equal 0, as well as -1 squared plus 1 -1. This gives us 1. This is interesting. You know what we could do? We could instead, the correct way to solve this is actually not by dividing on both sides. It's setting them equal to each other and then subtracting x and subtracting 1 from both sides. X squared plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. And then we have that x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. And we can do the difference of squares to write that factor this out to be x plus 1, x minus 1. So it could be plus or minus 1. And we know that -1 is the answer, so like stupid Susan, oh, I won't say stupid Susan, I'll say Susan says it's A. So very good. You can't hear me. Hello? Hello? Are you guys able to hear me? It seems that my microphone is working properly. That's what I'm getting from the streaming software, but I'll keep an eye on it. You all let me know. Let me know if there are some difficulties hearing me. In fact, I will pull up the Twitch stream just to make sure that we are not facing any difficulties. I see so far that you can hear me. When I am visiting my own stream, it sounds fine, but I'll keep an eye on it. Anyway, so yes, this would be the definitive way of solving it algebraically. Now, if there are no questions on that, we'll move on to the next one. And just to spice things up, we're gonna solve this problem with auto-tune. Heck yeah. Just kidding, guys. Don't worry. You don't have to deal with this forever. I just like being silly, so. Anyway, 16x to the third times y to the second plus 14xy. Which expression is equivalent to this? Well, we might see if we analyze the numbers, the coefficients, and each variable independently, that we can find the greatest common factor between all of them. So let's start between 16 and 14. So we list the factors. Those are our factors of 16. These are our factors of 14. And we see that 2 is the greatest common factor. So we can factor out 2. And what's left, we'll write inside the parentheses. So times 8 plus 4. And we're leaving room for the x and y stuff. Well, actually, let's do that at the end. We'll rewrite it at the end. Next, let's do x to the third and x. We can write x to the third as 1 times x to the third, or x times x squared, or x squared times x, which we already have. So these are the factors of x cubed. And x, well that's the highlighter. And x is just 1 and x. So x must be the greatest common factor between these. And let me circle that in red. And what's left, I'll circle in blue. Finally, we have y squared and y. So we can write that as 1 and y squared, or y times y, and then 1 times y. So again, here, the greatest common factor is just y. And what we're left with is 1 and y. So what we have is 2 right here, x right here, y right here. You only account for the greatest common factor once. Even though I circled it once on each side, you only account for it once. So 2xy times what's left over. So we have 8. These you account for each time. So we account for the left side and the right side. So that's 8x squared y plus, and we have 7, and we have 1 times 1. So 7 times 1 times 1 is just 7. So this is what we should have left over. 2xy on. Are we back? Are we good? We're getting some... Looks like we had some difficulties with the internet connection, but it looks like we're back. So... Your mic? What's wrong with my mic? My mic is picking up fine according to the streaming software. It just disconnected for a bit. But I see that for some reason I can't hear anything on my own stream. This is very weird. Is the YouTube stream the same way? Let's find out. Are we able to hear ourselves on YouTube? So it's just Twitch. Apparently the YouTube stream is working fine. I don't know why Twitch is not liking my stream today. Oh, Okay, we're back. I don't know why my audio is coming in and out. It might be a matter of internet connection. Although my internet seems to be doing fine. Well, either way, we'll carry on, and if at any point you all can't hear me, I'm very sorry. And make sure nothing is downloading. Alright. So now, let's go ahead and proceed with the next question, shall we? We did this problem, but we'll do it again this was on the social media pages. So we have 4a squared plus 20ab plus 25b squared. And you may notice a pattern here, and if you haven't, that's okay. But there's such thing as a square binomial where we have x plus y squared is equal to x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. So here, another rule is if b divided by c squared, where these are the coefficients a, b, and c, if b divided by c is equal to a times c, well, not just the coefficients, the actual terms, my apologies. So a, 4a squared, b, 20ab, and c, what do we have here? And that's not supposed to be c. That's supposed to be b divided by 2 squared is equal to a times c. Then we have ourselves a square binomial. And I'm checking my notifications to ensure that no one is notifying me about something important. Have a reminder about something. Okay, no worries. Sorry about the distraction. So if b divided by 2, that is 20ab divided by 2 squared, is equal to 4a squared times 25b squared, then we have ourselves a square binomial. So this case is 10ab squared is equal to 4 times 25 times a squared times b squared. So we have square everything inside the parentheses. 100 times a squared times b squared is equal to 100 times a squared times b squared. So this is in fact a square binomial, which means we can write it in this form, x plus y squared. But how do we find x and y? Pretty easy, just take the square root of a and the square root of c. So the square root of 4a squared is just 2a, because the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of a squared, well, those are opposite operations. They cancel each other out. So we have just a. And similarly, the square root of 25b squared is just 5b, because the square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of b squared is b, because those operations cancel each other out. So we have that our binomial or polynomial can be rewritten as a squared binomial. But the question asks not how can we rewrite this polynomial, but rather which of the following is a factor. So recall that when you square something, you can rewrite it as the multiplication of that number times itself. And recall that the definition of a factor of x, or factors of x, are two numbers which can multiply together to get x. So here we have 2a plus 5b times 2a plus 5b equals some polynomial. So that means that 2a plus 5b is a factor of that polynomial. And that would be our answer. My phone is blowing up right now. Nothing important though. So if there are no questions about this problem, we'll move on to the next one. And if there are questions, about any of this stuff, feel free to ask in the chat. Meanwhile, I'm checking our live homework help shared folder. There's nothing in there so far, so feel free to post your homework help questions there. All right. So if P is equal to 3x plus 4 and V is equal to x plus 5, which of the following is equivalent to PV minus 2P plus V? So this is just like substituting if you have x equals 3, this is just like substituting that into another expression. So everywhere we see P, we're going to write 3x plus 4. Everywhere we see V, in fact, let me change V's color to blue so we can make this a little more clear. Everywhere we see V, we're going to replace it with x plus 5 minus 2 times 3x plus 4 plus x plus 5. So first we have to FOIL this out. 3x times x and 3x times 5. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 5 is 15x. Next, we FOIL out 4 to x, which is 4x. 4 to 20, which is 20. So plus 4x plus 20. This part, minus 2 distributes to 3. That's minus 6x. Minus 2 distributes to 4, which is minus 8. Finally, plus x plus 5, so we write plus x plus 5. And then we add like terms. So our like terms here, we have just 3x squared, no other x squared terms. We have 15x, 4x, minus 6x, and x. So if we add those together with a calculator or by other forms, you'll find that you have 14x. And finally, 20 minus 8 is 12 plus 5 is 17. So we have 3x is to replace P with 3x plus 4, V with x plus 5, ensuring that you are FOILing and distributing properly, and then adding like terms. So if there are no questions about that, we'll go ahead and move on to the next question. So, what value satisfies the equation above? For this, we have to use the quadratic formula. If we try to factor it, we'll see that -1 has only factors of 1 and -1, and those can't hear you. Well, we're going to go ahead and end stream because we're having some size.